From affordable living to rich culture, here's why South America is becoming a top choice for American expats in 2025. In 2025, an increasing number of Americans are packing their bags and heading south. Not to Florida, but across international borders to countries throughout South America. This trend has been building over the past several years, but recent social, economic, and technological developments have accelerated it dramatically. From cost savings and improved quality of life to political dissatisfaction and a longing for change, Americans are discovering a new version of the American dream. Only this time, it's being realized south of the equator. Below are 10 compelling reasons why this migration is gaining momentum. 10. Rising cost of living in the U.S. One of the most common reasons Americans are moving abroad in 2025 is the ever-increasing cost of living at home. Housing prices in many major U.S. cities have reached record highs, and even smaller towns are experiencing price surges. Food, healthcare, and education costs have also skyrocketed, making day-to-day life a financial struggle for many middle-class Americans. Inflation remains a persistent concern, eroding purchasing power and forcing people to reassess where and how they live. In contrast, relocating to a country where their dollar stretches further provides a welcome financial reprieve. People are no longer willing to sacrifice their well-being to afford a life in the U.S. when there are viable, affordable alternatives abroad. 9. Lower cost of living in South America. Many South American countries offer significantly lower living costs, especially when it comes to housing, healthcare, and groceries. In cities like Medellin, Colombia, or Cuenca, Ecuador, rent for a spacious apartment can be as low as $400 to $700 a month, sometimes less. Meals at restaurants and access to fresh local produce also come at a fraction of U.S. prices. For retirees or digital nomads living on a fixed income, South America offers a way to live comfortably, even luxuriously, without the financial strain that often accompanies life in the United States. The ability to enjoy a high quality of life without breaking the bank is a powerful motivator for relocation. 8. Remote work and digital nomadism. The COVID-19 pandemic permanently reshaped the global workforce, ushering in a new era of remote work. Even in 2025, many American professionals continue to work from home or freelance online. As long as they have a stable internet connection, they can do their job from almost anywhere. South America has responded to this trend by improving internet infrastructure and creating environments that cater to remote workers. Cities like Buenos Aires, Lima, and Bogota have co-working spaces, digital nomad hubs, and cafes with strong Wi-Fi. Countries like Brazil and Chile are actively courting tech-savvy foreigners with remote work visas and tax incentives. 7. Favorable visa programs and expat incentives. Several South American countries have introduced visa programs specifically designed to attract American expats, retirees, and digital nomads. These programs often come with straightforward application processes, low financial requirements, and benefits such as tax breaks or residency options. For example, Ecuador's pensioner visa welcomes retirees with a stable pension income of just $800 a month. Uruguay offers various residency paths with minimal bureaucracy. Colombia and Argentina have introduced digital nomad visas that allow remote workers to legally stay for extended periods. These incentives make the idea of moving abroad not only appealing, but also accessible to a wider range of Americans. 6. Improve safety and political stability. While South America has historically been plagued by political unrest and safety concerns, many countries have made significant strides in recent years. Cities once considered unsafe have become thriving expat destinations thanks to improved infrastructure, better policing, and local government initiatives to attract international residents. Countries like Uruguay, Chile, and parts of Colombia have seen noticeable improvements in safety indexes. Local governments are increasingly responsive to tourism and foreign investment, knowing that positive word-of-mouth and social media influence are essential to sustained growth. For Americans wary of U.S. political divisions or disillusioned with the state of domestic affairs, these destinations offer a quieter, more stable alternative. 5. Healthcare accessibility and affordability. The American healthcare system remains one of the most expensive in the world. Even with insurance, many Americans face high deductibles, copays, and surprise bills. In contrast, several South American countries offer high-quality healthcare services at a fraction of the U.S. price, and often without the red tape. In countries like Colombia and Argentina, private health insurance can cost under $100 per month, and out-of-pocket expenses for procedures, prescriptions, and specialist care are remarkably low. Many doctors in urban centers have been trained in Europe or North America and speak English, making healthcare more accessible for Americans. For retirees in particular, this is a game changer, allowing them to age with dignity, security, and affordable care. 4. Cultural richness and lifestyle appeal. South America offers a rich cultural mosaic that appeals to many Americans looking for something more meaningful in life. From the Andes to the Amazon, from Inca ruins to colonial cities, there's history, tradition, and flavor around every corner. Food, music, festivals, and language create a vibrant tapestry that is both energizing and humbling. Many Americans report feeling more connected to the world and to themselves after relocating. Whether it's dancing tango in Buenos Aires, hiking in Patagonia, or sipping coffee in a Colombian plaza, the lifestyle encourages slower, more intentional living. This break from the often rushed, achievement-focused American mentality is deeply healing for many. 3. Climate and natural beauty. South America's diverse geography offers something for everyone. Tropical beaches, mountainous highlands, lush rainforests, and temperate valleys. Countries like Ecuador and Colombia feature year-round spring-like weather in some regions, making them ideal for those seeking a comfortable climate without extremes. Nature lovers find paradise in South America. Weekend trips can include waterfalls, volcanoes, hot springs, and coastlines, all within hours of major cities. The opportunity to live surrounded by natural beauty, breathe cleaner air, and engage in outdoor activities daily is a major draw for Americans seeking a healthier and more active lifestyle. 2. Growing expat communities. The rise in Americans relocating to South America has helped create thriving expat communities. Whether it's English-speaking meetups, expat-run businesses, or local Facebook groups, new arrivals rarely feel alone. Cities like Medellin, Cuenca, and Montevideo have sizable American and European populations that make the transition easier. These communities offer support with housing, paperwork, language learning, and social integration. For many, the ability to enjoy a new culture without giving up familiar comforts, like speaking English or celebrating U.S. holidays, adds to the appeal. 1. Desire for simpler, more meaningful living. At the heart of the migration trend is a growing desire among Americans for a life that feels more intentional. Many are disillusioned with the rat race, consumerism, and the constant pressure to earn, spend, and compete. They are craving simplicity, community, and purpose. South America, with its slower pace of life and emphasis on relationships over productivity, provides a space for reflection and renewal. People have time to cook meals from scratch, take afternoon naps, walk through markets, or sit with neighbors. Life is not about how much you have, but how deeply you live. And that's a message many Americans are ready to embrace. In 2025, relocating to South America is no longer a fringe idea. It's a practical, increasingly popular life choice for Americans from all walks of life. Whether driven by economics, lifestyle, politics, or personal growth, the motivations are as varied as the destinations themselves. With welcoming visa policies, lower costs, natural beauty, and vibrant cultures, South America offers not just a change of scenery, but a chance to rewrite the script entirely. As more people share their stories and the infrastructure to support expats continues to improve, the trend is likely to grow. For many Americans, the future doesn't lie in moving up, it lies in moving south. One of the most compelling forces behind the growing migration trend is a deep, almost spiritual desire for simpler, more meaningful living. Across the United States, more and more people are becoming disillusioned with the fast-paced, high-pressure lifestyle that often defines American culture. There's a growing fatigue with the endless cycle of working long hours, chasing promotions, accumulating possessions, and feeling like you're always one step behind in a race that never ends. For many, this rat race no longer feels fulfilling. It feels exhausting. People are realizing that life isn't just about earning more and spending more. It's about living with intention, cultivating authentic relationships, and finding daily joy in the ordinary. This is where countries in South America come into focus. Across the continent, there's a cultural rhythm that prioritizes being overdoing. The pace is slower, but more human. In many towns and cities, life revolves around people, not productivity. Meals are prepared from scratch with fresh ingredients. not just as a means of sustenance, but as an act of care and tradition. For many Americans seeking a new chapter, this way of life is not just attractive, it's healing. It represents a return to what really matters: presence, connection, and purpose. The move isn't simply geographical, it's philosophical. It's a conscious decision to prioritize quality of life over quantity of output, and to rediscover a sense of meaning that the hustle culture has slowly eroded.